Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce and Patrick Kay.
You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. I just saw this today. There's going to be a limited edition Darth Vader PS4 coming out in November, just in time for Star Wars Battlefront. I think they really missed a trick here because they did the sort of light thing that goes along the PS4 is still blue. I think that.
Yeah, that's all they've done is put a decal of Darth Vader on a PS4.
They've changed the controller a bit though. They've put some different colours on it and put Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars where the touchpad is. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just was like, oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
So it's not as cool as the Xbox R2D2, was it?
No, I think they've done a R2 PS4 as well. But there's going to be two versions of this: one to tie in with Battlefront and one to tie in with the Disney Infinity stuff. But yeah, I think we've already expressed our opinions on that. What is more exciting though, and what we have talked about on a previous show, is this new Steam machine, which was originally announced as the Steam Boy. It's now the Smack. Is that Smash or Smack Zero? It's like Smash. Yeah.
Smash Zero.
We'll spell it in the show notes.
Smack Zero.
But anyway, yeah, I think there was, when we were talking about this at the time, we thought that it was going to be like some sort of streaming-only device.
Yep.
And it turns out that it's actually got some guts in it, too. So, while it's probably not going to be able to run...
Not got a 980 in it, though, is it?
No, it's probably not going to run like The Witcher 3 or GTA 5, but I've got a hell of a lot of games on my Steam back catalogue that are like SteamOS compatible and would probably run on this. I'm thinking of things like Mark of the Ninja, like maybe even Mafia 2 might run on it, you know? That's quite an old game.
No, not Mafia 2. No. Mark of the Ninja, probably, yeah. 2D stuff. You're probably pretty safe.
Yeah, like Pillars of Eternity would probably run on it. Like Shadowrun. Those kind of games. And it's got the touch control, it's got the Steam haptic feedback things for you to do like pointy games. Like you could probably run Civ on it or something like that. So I mean, for me, the Vita ended up being like a bit of a novelty for me when I had it. Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, there's enough on my phone to keep me entertained. On my commute is not so bad. It's like 35 minutes, but I mean, it could be a potential way of clearing the pile of shame though. Just having that extra time to play Steam games, you know, in a portable form factor, that's really appealing to me, to be honest.
Have any of you guys done the Steam streaming stuff yet? Have you played any games on a crappy laptop and you access? What was the experience like? Did it work okay?
Not good.
No. Massive latency, or
it may have been the laptop, which was it's my wife's. And not from these parts, so it was a little out of date. And
I can't remember if we actually did it.
I don't think it
here
I
or
think
not.
we did the other thing you could do where there's something you can. Maybe it was that. I don't know. I didn't have a great experience with it. I haven't tried it for a long time. It's not released yet, is it? So perhaps it's been improved.
I think we streamed some stuff from like Matt's PC to the lounge PC.
Yeah.
I think it was okay. I can't remember what he was trying to play. I think it might have been Gauntlet or I can't remember now. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, the streaming stuff, I don't really have a great deal of use for that. But having a portable Steam machine. I mean, you could argue that any laptop is a portable Steam machine, but that's still quite a big thing to have around.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, like something like this, I could put it in my pocket, play it on the train, play like a cool game like I don't know, Broken Age, Apotheon. I'm just looking at my library here now. It's like there's loads of like sort of indie games or 2D stuff, even like older games like Deus Ex, like that would probably run on it if I could be bothered to play that again. But I don't know, I'm interested.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'm really interested in how that whole kind of streaming thing works as well. Like if it is a viable way of playing your AAA stuff on a mobile device or on a laptop that's just got Steam OS installed, because I mean, eventually, when you think about it, like when we've got like mobile VR that can connect to that, then you could have like a virtual screen, and then you could just stream your Steam games while you're on the train or whatever, and have like a proper size screen and stuff as well. So that would be amazing in the future.
We need the bandwidth to boost up massively though, because you talk about the frame rate and stuff you need for that, and the latency and that.
Well, it's not the frame rate; it's the ping, isn't it?
Yeah, the latency.
How fast you can stream. But I mean, that stuff is coming, and eventually that will be I'm sure that will be a thing where you'll be able to just stream your high-end home system stuff to a mobile device. And I'm not talking about VR stuff. I'm talking about your pile of shame. Pile of shame on a virtual screen.
Oh yeah.
But the point is that it's a portable thing that's not tethered and you can carry it around.
Yeah.
But and then stick it on, and then you've got So I'm sure that's going to be a thing.
Pretty sure by the time that happens, mobiles will be able to play all this shit anyway.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see mobile CPUs overtaking the current generation of consoles in the next 6 years.
Yeah.
This thing's got an AMD embedded G series SoC Step Eagle with Jaguar based CPU.
What language are you speaking?
Which
mate?
Is that like out of the phone?
That is a high end mobile CPU.
Like what we have, like in our phones.
Yeah.
So it's like that sort of power, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And Radeon graphics. So could be quite impressive. But yeah, they're saying pre-orders are going down for $299, but the final RRP will be higher. So if you're interested and you're completely sold now and you have the cash to lay down, you need to do so by November the 10th. And that's the same day that the other Steam machines will be out. So yeah, that's interesting. Cool. Another bit of hardware that's out, actually probably by the time you're listening to this, is the Spectrum Vega, which was a Kickstarter thing. Unfortunately, the RRP for this is £100, basically.
Bit much.
Which is a little bit much for what is a very, very old bit of kit. I mean, you know what?
It's a novelty thing, isn't it? Sorry, Pat. It
is. Yeah.
Go on, Pat.
And it's really cool and everything. But why not just put all of the guts in something that looks exactly like the ZX Spectrum? If you're selling nostalgia.
Yeah, and also I tell you what I did notice is there's the thing comes loaded with 1,000 games. And I noticed a couple that I just did a quick search for. I was like, sorry, excuse me. I was like, I wonder if that's on there. Attic Attack was a favourite of mine back in the day.
Is it on there?
It is on there.
Chucky Egg.
Chucky Egg isn't on there.
School Days. No, it is.
Is it?
Is it Chucky Egg on there?
Does it?
The screenshot I'm looking at on the website.
It's not in the list of games.
Chucky Egg on it.
It's CHUCK.
Checkered Flag. I remember that.
Yeah, if it's spelt.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Manic Miner's not on there. Jet Set Willie's not on there. So I tell you, that's 3 reasons I would have got it. But
I've got those games on the emulator on my phone. I can play those any.
I tell you what though, I did have a little look into this, and I did notice that some of the games here are quite blatantly text adventures. And
many of them were, my friend.
Yeah, and I don't see any keyboard. There's 4 buttons on this thing. So that's going to be a fat lot of good, isn't it?
You know, I'm just gonna buy an original Sinclair ZX Spectrum from a boot sale, and I'll just play it on my phone.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot of. I think a lot of the licensed Ocean games aren't going to be on here. Stuff like Daley Thompson, stuff like.
Commando's not on there.
Yeah,
Rainbow's not on there. It's rubbish.
Yeah, a lot of those bigger games, they wouldn't have been able to get
Elite's
the rights
not on
to.
there,
I
is
don't
it? But Elite with the fucking thing you'd have to put on the screen. Did you have that for the Spectrum? Elite on the Spectrum had this little plastic window.
I played it.
And it was like a window that had two bits of plastic that folded it on it. And as part of the anti-piracy measure, when the game loaded, you had to push this thing on the screen, and you got a couple of letters or a word displayed or something, and if you didn't type that word in, it would crash or something, and you had to do it all again.
Jesus Christ!
So convoluted. What a fucking pain in the arse. However, Elite on the Spectrum was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Well, I don't know. With this thing, I think it's too expensive. I think for that price, I think for like 30, 40 quid at the most.
Yeah.
It would be quite a nice little thing to have, but there are other ways of playing these games, I think. So it's just a cute kind of novelty thing.
Sorry, what's School Days on there?
No, sorry, it was a screenshot in the website I was looking at.
Misleading.
Sorry.
They should know who their audience is. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
School Days
really.
is on there. That was a great game.
Yeah. Okay, things that did look good though, there was this demo of Total Warhammer, which just looks amazing.
Are you coming around to it now then?
Oh, well, it's...
After your initial rage over the name?
Well, it's Total Warhammer, and that's what it's called, so I won't have it any different.
For those who are less retentive, it's called Total War Warhammer, not Total Warhammer.
Yeah, so anyway, aside from the silly name, there's this footage is basically, I think it's very much Endgame, what they're showing here, because it is depicting vast armies against one another. But what I loved about it was just the amount of different units. Even though it's a Total War game, it just looks completely balmy.
Yeah, it's got a bit better.
There's you can get these trolls that just vomit over people, and I'm just going to have an army of those. That's going to be my
trolls.
Yeah, vomit trolls. You get these. There's hero units that have these aerial mounts that just dive into the middle of the battle and just throw people everywhere. You can have these giant spider armies and stuff. And the greatest one was you get a goblin catapult, which literally fires a goblin that you can kind of take control of and land it where you want.
When you say
so
land,
it looks like,
you mean splatter over other people, or
splatter over a wide area.
Right.
So it looks, it just looks brilliant. The modelling of the armies, the orcs and everything. Yeah.
In a recent episode, we were talking about you've got this thing and you add it to this thing and you make this. Isn't that what they've done here?
Yeah, it's two great things that hopefully taste great together. I can't vouch for the Total War series recently. I've not played those games. I'm not a big strategy fan, to be honest. But you see what they're doing here is they're sort of winning me over.
Yeah,
they are.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's
those games have been kind of targeted towards history geeks, I think.
Yeah.
And they're very cool. They're very cool in their execution. But this is another angle, isn't it? It's we'll see if the fantasy crowd can get interested.
Yeah.
So I think it does make it different enough because they've done that.
Yeah.
Just playing. It's got weird sort of magic weapons and stuff going on. But yeah, I do get your point that it is just bringing those two things together.
However, what I think it does do is, I think, as Rob kind of said, both of those are good. This is a great fit here. It's not forcing something together that won't work. Warhammer is a great thing, and Total War, from the ones that I've played, was a really great experience, and those two things together would be a fucking sight to behold. As we can see on Rob's face now as he watches the trailer again, And
I'm just watching that little while they're doing the little sort of fly through.
Stuff you see.
They're doing that. There's a bit in the demo where they're just doing that like fly through sort of the melee, and you've just got those trolls just vomiting all over like the soldiers, and then this fucking flying thing just crashed in. Yeah, it's really impressive, and I don't know. I've not got a lot of time for strategy games, but I might have to give this one a look if it's as good as it's cracked up to be. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that are big strategy nuts, so I look forward to them utterly owning me in this. I think it's going to be quite. I think I'll actually play this online a bit, because I've got a lot of friends who have a lot of time for the Warhammer brand, probably more than they do the Total War series. So it'll be interesting to see how well that crossover works, So yeah, what else we got here? There was a multi-crew demo of Star Citizen. That looked kind of cool. Very sort of Millennium Falconish, I suppose. I don't know.
Have you still got the rage, mate?
Not really. I still I don't know. I'm just so dubious about like when the hell is this ever going to see the light of day still. But
well, you can play it now.
You can play it now.
What, you can do the multi-crew stuff now?
Oh, I don't know about Mercury.
Well,
You've been able to play.
Aren't they constantly updating the shit that you can play?
Well, I think they've added elements to the like the dogfighting module as they've gone along, but it's still very much like that's kind of it. And they're supposed to be. I said on a previous show they're apparently releasing 4 of their modules this year, but I don't see that happening. But it's fine. We've got Elite for now if you want to do that sort of thing, and it's looking very good. But
I got to say, I've got a real horn for like at some point in the future there's going to be a real great multi-crew spaceship game. Like, and I don't necessarily need it to be something like this, but like I really like the idea of being like on the bridge and like just talking to you guys, and do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of multi-crew experience I think I'm more excited about playing.
Constant speed while somebody goes outside and fixes a hole in the side of it.
Yeah,
I think I'm more into the idea of all being on one ship than all being in different ships.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like just going, Rob, I need you to reverse those fucking proton thrusters or whatever.
Get me my hydro spanner.
Yeah. But I think that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a really cool thing, and it's going to be something that none of us have done before.
I know this kind of related to that, and I know this probably isn't the right episode to discuss it, but there is a game called Blackwake being thrown around the YouTubers at the moment. You know that cyberpunk, steampunk, cyber steamy punk, whatever it is, hot air balloon thing where you had a team that were in one cyberpunk balloon thing, and you drove around mountains and fired cannons and shit at another one, and that was
Crimson Skies.
The what?
Crimson Skies.
No.
No. I think
Thingy of Icarus.
Yes, Guns of Icarus.
Guns of Icarus.
Where you're in a floating ship, basically, and there's a captain who guides it, and people get on their side guns and they fire them, and you can repair the ship. Oh yeah,
I know this one. I saw this video.
Blackwake is that, but with pirates on the ocean.
And yes, awesome.
It looks completely batshit.
So funny.
And the thing that really that gives me the horn about it is it's made by 2 guys in Unity.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I think Guns of Icarus wasn't made by many more people, but it looks great. And the YouTubers are the guys that have early access to it. I've backed it, I think, so I'm going to get access eventually. But it looks absolutely hilarious, and I can imagine us doing this, isn't it? And I can imagine this translating to a ship type thing, where we need to do the similar kinds of things. I'm sure there'll be one eventually if there isn't already. To get that happening.
Opens Unity?
We could fire... If there was an escape pod, we could load Rob into it and fire him at the other ship. And he could get in with his little spanner and loosen all the nuts. And then we could ram the ship and the side of the ship would fall off and all of their team would start floating out.
Yeah!
And then we could just drive through them and smash them all.
There is a
Oh, that's going to be a good game. Let's make that game.
Yeah.
there is actually a game called there is actually a game called Artemis, which is a multiplayer bridge simulator.
Yeah, I think I've seen this one.
And I don't think it's anything especially to look at, but I think it's been at quite a few of the cons, and people do it in like cosplay and that. And it's all like, you know, you all just sit around in the lounge with your tablets, and someone's like, "Someone activate shields" and stuff, and it's like you're all
awesome.
you're all in control of your own little little part of the bridge, like Star Trek, you know.
Yeah,
And it's supposed to be really fun for like LANs and things like that.
that's really cool. That's really cool.
Check that out.
I really like. I mean, I still occasionally play the whole kind of, you know, pass the controller around, you know, playing single games on a couch with just taking turns and stuff. And I kind of miss that I don't do that as much as I used to back in the day. And it's really cool that things like this exist, where it forces people into one physical space to work together. I think that's really cool as well, because there's like online gameplay has made that just not quite convenient enough for people to still do. I still think I fancy doing a LAN soon, actually, for that reason, because they were just awesome, and like it is something that you do miss by playing online. I mean, the convenience is awesome. Like, I can literally give you like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't have the stench of pizza and stinky, farty, guff man smells, do you? I mean, they're all definitely part of it, but I don't. I prefer doing distance gaming, if I'm honest with you. You're a lovely gentleman, but really, you can be stinky men if when it comes to it.
I think if we could come up with like in a list of games that was compelling enough that we felt like we had to be within proximity to really enjoy, like I think that I'd be up for that too. But the logistics of dragging this beast around is like...
Yeah, and I mean, we have, as people do as they get older, we have splintered and started to travel the world. Or a few counties over anyway in the UK.
Well, the other side of London, yeah. But, no, that's all good. But yeah, listeners, if you think there are any good LAN games that we should play, we could even record some of us doing it. Maybe
Jesus Christ, there's a line. Fuck. We could sell smell-o-vision tabs as well, so you too can get the cheesy pizza and stinky harness delights that will be created.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to quickly do a little isometric segment where I talk about some isometric games very briefly. Masquerade is a game I found out about today that I found out about on only single player. That's a pretty cool little website. This is done by a company called Witching Hour, and it looks like it's got a very similar art style to like Banner Saga. It's that kind of cel-shaded sort of really sort of cool Ralph Bakshi cartoon style. Looks like it's kind of... I'm not sure if it's fully turn-based or it's using that kind of pause and play. I think it is pause and play, actually.
Yeah, it's pause and play.
Yeah, but I thought that looked really cool. The trailer's got loads of voiceover, so there's probably quite a good story going on. But it looks very indie, but it looks also very, very cool with like spell area of effects and things that you can lay down. And yeah, it might be quite good. While I'm talking about isometric stuff, Pillars of Eternity has got some more DLC coming out at the end of August. I don't know if I'm ever going to get round to that, but I enjoyed the original game. Also at the end of August, Divinity Original Sin 2, they're starting a Kickstarter for that. I'm not sure. I've got some very mixed feelings about the original game, but they have recently released a kind of reduxed version for the consoles that I think almost kind of finished the game off a bit, and probably is going to be a better game for it. My biggest problem with that game was the way it just completely lost the plot at the end. So yeah, and while I'm on the subject of DLC, just wanted to mention that there's more DLC for Dragon Age that I also don't think if I'll ever get round to. What's that called again? It's In the Deep, Wace. The Descent, which I think is self-explanatory enough. It's a big going under into the deep roads. I think for people that are familiar with that series, they'll know what I mean. But yeah, more of the same, and I'm not sure if I'll get to it. Final bit of DLC news, though, is The Witcher 3's final bit of DLC is going to be a New Game Plus, which again, that game's big enough. I don't think I'll ever get round to playing it again. But I think the idea, as with most New Game Plus modes, it's going to give you the ability to play the game, but with all your gear that you've accumulated in the first playthrough. So you're just powered up to fuck, but they put the difficulty up on everything, so you have to make use of all your amazing talents. So that's that. This bit of news I found quite amusing is that the limited edition version of Fallout 4 is that it comes with like this Pip-Boy that you can put your phone in, because the game's going to have an iPhone Android app where you can actually control all of your Pip-Boy stuff from your arm. And basically they cannot make any more of these things. They did a second run of it, and they sold that out, and apparently the companies that they're using to make this stuff just can't make any more of them. It's been that popular. So yeah. Any thoughts on giant plastic implements that you look like a complete gimp with?
No, it's kind of cool. It's a good use of the whole iPhone app, isn't it?
Just bear with me, I'm going to squat and push out something I care about.
I thought you'd gone very quiet there.
I've been fucking ranting away about that for ages.
I just carried on because no one was stopping me. So
yeah, that's how the world's going to end, Rob. Let's go to the Hadron Collider. Where's Rob? Black hole created.
I dare not mention the next couple of things then. Well, I suppose it's cool that Prison Architect is finally coming out of early access. Personally, I'm waiting for that. Ever since they mentioned that was coming to iOS, I'm waiting for that version, to be honest, because it looks like a perfect kind of game to play on my phone, being the 2D sort of prison management sim that it is. And finally, Resident Evil 2 is being remade, hot on the heels of the first one being remade and released earlier this year. So, I don't know, I still can't decide if I can be bothered to go back and play those, because I never really played them when they first come out.
Oh, they were great games.
Yeah, they were awesome
really,
games.
really good.
You think?
Not sure if I could be bothered to go back and play them again.
I think they were, like many games like that, they were of their time.
Yeah.
You could play them now and go, God, I remember playing this however many years ago it was. But really, you want to play something shinier with less fucking annoying cameras and less plants
Tank
to pick
controls.
up and combine and all of these things. And there are scarier games because most horror games now were inspired by these games.
They're definitely scarier games.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably come out, and I'll put it on my wish list, and it'll just stay there forever until it's in a Steam sale,
Well,
and then I'll get it and still won't play it.
Yeah. That's the problem with wish lists, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you guys could have any game, say, over 10 years old, remade, what would it be?
Wow. Initially, I just want them to remake the original Deus Ex.
Half-Life 2.
Alright. Half-Life
as
2.
Half-Life 3.
I'm not sure what mine would be. Maybe Soul Reaver.
That would be cool.
Or...
I
don't know.
Just trying to think of like those early games. I'd like them to, well, is this remakes or like another game in the series of?
Remakes, but...
Because I'd love them to make another No One Lives Forever.
Yeah.
I'd be well up for that. It won't happen.
Cool.
And if they did do it, it would be open world and really annoy me for being open world.
If we could allow slightly more modern games, I would love to win the lottery, provide the developers of this game enough money to make sequels for it for the rest of their lives and be happy, and then we could have the Saboteur in different cities around the world, because that is the greatest game that has been ever made.
It is great. It is fucking
not
great.
Not the Spectrum Saboteur, because that was a good game, but the one that was recent, the Nazi Germany GTA style thing. Christ, what a game. What a shame they went their separate ways. That was a great game. Yeah. Sad times. Yeah. I can't think of any older than 10 years. Sorry.
Yeah, Deus Ex is the one I always go back to, but I know it's like been so surpassed by so many other things now.
I would say the original Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because the first two were breathtaking World War II games. The beaches one and the... it was
absolutely.
Fuck! Yeah, this is quite bad. And now it's just become a bit of story. Here's a box arena.
Yeah.
Get together. Get 7 things, you'll get a C-130 to blow shit out of people. Fucking, what have they done to that franchise?
Actually, do you know what? Crimson Skies. I could go back to Crimson Skies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Crimson Skies in VR would be ace.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's crying out for that to be done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Opens Unity.
He's done it.
Oh, well. Well, I suppose we better leave Patrick to get on with rebuilding Crimson Skies in VR then. And wrap this up.
After he's done the multiplayer space thing.
Yeah, get on it, man.
Yeah, come on, Pat.
Yeah,
Jesus.
sorry, guys.
Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh, yeah, Star Wars Galaxies.
But before the combat, fucking...
Just jump to light speed.
Did that work for you, though?
It worked for me because it was the closest thing to what I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
my
fair
absolute dream of
I just want to stand on the waterfall at Naboo and go, fuck, I'm in Naboo. And that was the worst movie, and it was still, fuck, I'm in Naboo, and I can... oh my God, I've fallen off the waterfall, fuck, I've died. Yeah, that was...
that game had some great...
Go on.
That game had some great ideas, but it just got completely gimped by the
combat upgrade.
No, it was before that. It was when I played it. You just go to the buffs, the doctor buffs.
I would agree with that, but it was everybody doing their thing to make other people have a better time. Everybody was making the shit you were wearing. Everybody was buffing people. Dancers would be standing by the exit to the world going, can I give you a buff? Can I give you a buff? And so it was kind of this circular... It was a proper economy. And I know Eve has a proper economy type thing as well, but this was a proper economy without the spreadsheets. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I think it was just like the lack of content that sort of did it for me.
Yes,
it was
so... go out in the field and kill 20 things. And and when you met the characters, Christ, they were like... It's like they'd wheeled out your granddad to be Darth Vader, and he was standing there going, I've been standing here for 12 hours waiting for somebody to come along, and he was just standing there. When you met Chewie in the bar, he was just... So there was limited interaction with the characters that you loved, but because it was set in episode 4, it felt like that world, and that was the kind of thing that I want Star Wars Land to be, and it would never be because of the screaming fucking kids and somebody trying to send you a brochure for the next screening of something somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, go in the middle of the week is what I'd say.
Go
out
fuck
of
yourself
season.
is what I'd say back.
when it's like hot out there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. This has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk. It looks like we've had a few new listeners from looking at our stats and things. So if you are new and you like what you've heard here or you don't, we'd really like to know what you think of the show. And if you've got anything to add to any of our conversations, please do contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us or tweet at us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and you can also find other podcasts there, such as our namesake, notlistening.co.uk, or the Not Listening Podcast, rather, where they are there's 3 very funny guys, Adam, Ash, and Will, and they talk about some really funny, random stuff. And also, if you like listening to me and Ian, we're also on the Not Watching podcast, where we talk about TV and movies and stuff. So that can be quite good too sometimes. I'm really selling this, aren't I?
Rob doesn't do marketing.
If you're listening to us on iTunes, you can give us a review there. Music is by Miracle of Sound. And that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya!
I suck at Call of Duty.